So when the carrier heat pump system was installed, the installer told us when it gets down to 20 degrees and below that it's going to be worthless. It's not going to work. So today is 19 and it's working. It's nice and warm in the house, not the basement. I'm down in the basement. Let's see what the wall is in the basement. 40 degrees. Let's see what the door is. I just opened it. 28 degrees. Let's see the storm door. 21 degrees. Let's see what it is outside. Let's check the snow. Ooh. 8.9. Okay, so 9. 9.5. 4.8. Sheesh. So this just turned off. Let's see what it is. 11. So when I just got here, I heard this thing rattle, and apparently it gets ice on the blade, and you'll hear some kind of tapping, rattling. And I was trying to get it on video, but apparently it broke off, so it's not doing it anymore. Let's see what the inside is. 43 degrees. It must be in defrost mode right now. Let's go up and see what the mini split's doing. The garage is nice and warm. The mini split doesn't seem to ice up. Let's see what the snow is right here. Ooh, 3.7. Mr. Cool's running nice, not making any noise. Let's see what Mr. Cool's putting out. We'll just say 8.4. I moved, that's what happened. 7.5, sheesh. See what the wall is. The wall's 16.5. So I'm back in the garage. It's nice and comfortable in here. Let's see what's coming out of Mr. Cool. That's pretty good for it being 19 degrees out. So when that carrier was first installed, the installer didn't install it properly. And of course, what he messed up was the low voltage wiring, which you would think would be the easiest, but no, apparently not. It seems a lot of HVAC guys mess up on the low voltage wiring. I watch a lot of videos on HVAC. I see these guys doing service calls, and what they do is once they get the low voltage wiring figured out, it seems they'll take the two reds and put them together and sit the cap on there. You have to tighten it, bud. You can't just sit the cap, you know? I understand you're just trying to figure out what the problem is. It seems once they figure out what the problem is, they're so excited that they figured it out, they leave. And they never twisted the wires, because that's what happened here. I found that some of the low voltage wiring wasn't tightened. You know, it's okay, you know, you figure it all out, but you still got to go back. You know, you go back and check everything and make sure all the connections are tight, or the customer's going to have problems later on down the road. And so what happened with us was, you know, it was all installed, everything was working. It was installed in the summertime, AC was working. The problem is in the wintertime, you put the heat on, the heat pump, and there was nothing. It would not turn on. So I started playing around with the thermostat, the wires behind the thermostat. There was only 5 wires. There needed to be 6. So I'd have to switch the white to yellow, and then I would finally get the heat to work, but then the AC wouldn't work. So, you know, depending on the winter or the summer, I would have to switch those wires back. Well, then eventually I got tired of that. I got to figure this out. So I hired a tech, you know what I mean? I paid him myself. I didn't charge my customer. So tech comes out. He figures it all out. There's a wire missing. You know what I mean? There needed to be another wire going down to the condenser outside, and also another wire was supposed to go to the thermostat. So he figured that all out, and then he went and did exactly what I just said. Once it was figured out, he never tightened the wires. So it stopped working again, and I had to go back and figure it out myself. So then I started worrying about it. You know, all the stuff I hear about heat pumps, when the temperature gets too low, they stop working. So I know I needed heat strips, and I just didn't want to hire another guy to come out and do the heat strips when I figured I could do it myself. So that's what I did. What I did was I went to a supply house near the customer's job. And you know, if you're not a licensed HVAC guy, they're not going to sell you anything. They're not even going to talk. They're going to tell you to leave. So, I mean, I'm a licensed contractor. So I explained him the story, and the guy actually listened to me. I told him what happened. We had a licensed, you know, and plus he's what do you call it? I guess carrier certified, and he still couldn't handle the job. So I explained to him what happened, and he kind of felt bad for me. He actually signed me up for an account under my name. And I told him I need the heat strips, you know, the emergency heat strips. So he sold me the kit for carrier. It was like $120. You know, if an HVAC guy is going to do it, he's probably going to charge him more than that for the part and then the labor and everything else. So now I got this heat kit, and now I got to figure out how to do it. So I got a neighbor, you know, he's an electrician, so I talked to him. He told me to run, you know, the 6-gauge Romex, 6.2 Romex. I'll need 2 of them because it was a 15K. That means it's a 1,000 or a 10,000 strip and a 5,000 strip. That's what it was. It was a double strip. So I had to run the 2 Romex myself. I went and got them, ran it, got that all hooked up. And the way I did it, I found, you know, videos on YouTube. I mean, I went down a path, you know what I mean? I had to watch a lot of videos. You could take a little bit from each guy, you know what I mean? You're never going to find just one video that's going to help you, but you could take a little bit from each guy, and I did that. I got some schematics, and I figured it all out on myself and installed it. So that's all working out too. So, I don't know. I don't even know what the point of making this video is. I guess I'm just talking about some of the problems that you're going to have with certain guys, I guess. But look at this thing the kid bought. It's like a plow shovel. He bought this specifically for my customer's driveway. It works pretty good. He got to use it out there. I mean, we only got a couple of inches the other day, but let me show you a clip of him doing that. He's in defrost mode right now. Excellent. Nice and quiet. Seems efficient. I guess I'll know next month when I see her electric bill. But a couple of days ago, I decided to replace the weather stripping on the bottom of the garage door because there was daylight to the right. There was a little spot, maybe a foot. Now look at it. It's like 5 or 6 feet. And this side is daylight too. So the problem was the old one was dry rotted and flat. This one's brand new. You know what I mean? So the door does not want to squish it down. So if you look at it, it's good in the center, off to the side. So what does that tell you? It tells you the concrete's a mess. Concrete is a wave fest. And the funny thing is, I gotta cut some out on the out. Let me show you. Let me open this door. So when they put this floor in, they just slammed it in. And this little apron out here, they just slammed it in there, and it's a crooked fest. Right here, you see the crack? So from that crack over, it goes round it. It like slopes down over to there. So that's a problem. Over here slopes, that's a problem. So I gotta put new gutters and downspouts out here. And my plan is to have it come down here on this side, in there, and then I'm gonna run a pipe under the asphalt down the mountain. So I gotta cut this anyway. So my plan is I'm gonna cut the concrete in there all the way across and take that out with part of the asphalt so I can run my pipe, and then I'm gonna put it back straight. You know what I mean? So this door closes properly. Because it's nice and comfortable in here, and then you don't need any breezes coming in. You know what I mean? That's just wasting energy. So that's my plan. I gotta wait for these temperatures to get a little higher though before I go out there cutting anything. Because I don't want to be wet cutting ice. You know what I mean?